If you want to be a racing driver, you need to be supremely fit and incredibly brave. In order to succeed, you need to push your car to the limits. And that means sometimes you're going to push just a little too far. Fortunately, thanks to advances in manufacturing, cars are now tougher than ever before. And drivers regularly walk away from accidents which once might have proved fatal. But with gallons of highly explosive fuel feeding their engines, there's one risk every driver fears: fire. So how do they protect drivers when it all goes horribly wrong? How do they do it? It's a windy Sunday morning here at Santa Pod in Northamptonshire, England, home of European drag racing. This is the fastest, most dangerous motorsport on Earth, and the people who race here are the ultimate adrenaline junkies. One of the teams here to test their car is Fire Force. Their car, Fire Force 3, is a stylish design with a fiberglass body. But instead of a standard 2-litre car engine, they fitted it with a Pratt & Whitney jet.
It's virtually a hairdryer on a roller skate.
Generating 10,000 horsepower, it can reach almost 700 kilometres an hour in just 5 seconds. It's so fast, it requires a pair of parachutes to slow it down. The car can go from 0 to 500 kilometres an hour and back in under 20 seconds, causing the driver to experience 6 Gs, which has been known to cause the retina in the driver's eyes to detach.
All motor racing is dangerous whichever way you look at it. You've got a couple of dangers: A, the amount of fuel you carry, and B, the temperatures everything runs at.
All of this means that when things go wrong, they go wrong fast. In November 2006, at the Flame and Thunder event at Santa Pod, Fire Force Mark I exploded into a fireball. Inside the car was driver Tony Baker.
I think from start to finish to me getting out the car was about 30 seconds, but it seemed an awful lot longer when I was in the car.
Incredibly, he escaped with just a few scorch marks. The reason he survived was all thanks to his fireproof race suit. To find out how they're made, we've come here to Turin in Italy. This ancient city is home to one of the world's biggest suppliers of racing suits, Sparco. Each suit takes an average of 2 days to complete and can be tailored to the individual driver. The aim is to produce a suit that will insulate the driver's skin from a fire and still be comfortable. This means everything from the basic fabric to the stitching and logos must all be made to the highest possible standards. The process begins by breaking the design down into a series of templates using a computer. Once this is complete, the most economical layout for the pieces is calculated, and they're ready to be cut out. The most common fireproof material is a fabric called Nomex, which is mixed with Kevlar fibres to increase its strength. This is laid out on a vacuum table and cut by a computer-controlled cutting machine. However, most driver injuries aren't caused by flames, but by radiant heat. The best way to prevent this kind of burn is to add greater insulation by making the suit from 3 separate layers of fabric. These extra layers keep the heat source away from the skin for longer, while air gaps between the layers provide added protection. The very latest materials are PBI fibres, which offer excellent protection but are extremely expensive. Once the layers of the suit are complete, they're ready to be stitched together with fire-resistant thread. For correct positioning of the layers, a quilting pattern is used, so there is never more than 100mm between the stitches. And to ensure the drivers look extra cool, here in the high-tech embroidery lab, the suits are finished off with some great-looking logos. These are created on a computer, which feeds instructions directly to over 100 embroidery machines. Finally, the suits are tested to ensure they comply with international standards. They're given different safety ratings depending on how long they'll protect the wearer from second-degree burns. This can be anything from 3 seconds for the lightest underwear to 40 seconds for the main suit. They must also demonstrate that no holes are caused by the flame. All of the materials must also self-extinguish within 2 seconds if a direct flame is applied to them. The ultimate test is to set fire to the entire suit. Gasoline burns at a fierce 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. But incredibly, after 30 seconds, this suit is barely scorched. Fortunately for Tony Baker, he was wearing a fireproof racing suit when disaster struck Fire Force in 2006.
Everything we wear is fireproof. It's designed to do its job, and it did it perfectly. I never felt any heat.
He was able to step away from this spectacular accident with nothing more than a lightly charred suit.
I've only seen a handful of major incidents, and I think Tony's one of the most spectacular I've seen, and obviously he just walked away from it.
And when he blasts down the track in Fire Force 3, he can rest assured that however crazy drag racing might be, he's been sensible enough to wear the best possible protection should anything go horribly wrong again.